Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. Delighted to be here with you today and introduce you to a longtime member of our community, a brilliant woman when it comes to money, success, happiness, business, and even relationships. So today we're going to be talking about money and an abundance mindset primarily. And I know she'll drop in some wisdom about how it relates to you and your business and really having everything that you desire. Today's show is about 30 minutes of conversation and question, and then we open up for you to ask questions of our guests. So this is your opportunity to get answers right on the spot. If you're with us on Facebook, go ahead and put those comments in your questions in the comment section. If you're with us on Zoom, you can put them in the chat. We'll also be able to open up your lines a little bit later. Couple of quick Women's Prosperity Network announcements. Next week on Tuesday is our Networking with a Twist. If you've not yet joined us for this extraordinary opportunity, not just to network, but to really build connections, you'll want to make sure you join us. Go to womensprosperityNetwork.com and you'll see all the information on the events calendar. We've also got a mastermind coming up at the end of the month and a few other fun things along the way. So stay tuned for what we've got in store for you to advance your life, to make great connections, and enjoy all the abundance you deserve. And on that note, it's time to welcome Susan D. Robertis. Hello, my friend.
Hi, good morning, Nancy. It's great to be here. I'm in sunny New York. Today is sunny.
Beautiful.
With a nice brisk 29 degrees today. Ooh.
Chilly, chilly, chilly. Get out that coffee, that hot cocoa, those hot toddies, whatever keeps you warm on the inside. All right. Beautiful. So glad you could be here. And before we jump into today's conversation, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about Susan and her background, which spans over 25 years. Probably a little more than that, but that's what we're going to focus on right now. So Susan D. Robertis is the CEO and owner of SDR Consulting. She provides not only leadership training, but also her financial expertise in showing you how to generate income and have increased profitability in your business. I love that because we could create a lot of income, but we can also spend a lot of income. She's a business advisor in Westchester, New York, and has held the title of controller and CFO in her former corporate life before creating her own company, SDR Consulting, in 1999. Susan knows how to bring it with more than 25 years of financial experience from startup to established businesses, which include exit strategies. And she trained with one of the founding members of Coach U, which is the foundational institution in the coaching industry, in 2003. She is 100% committed to having the success that you want so that you can have the financial freedom and security that we all want. So thank you, Susan. I love that you're here with us today. And let's talk about numbers and money and success and happiness and how it all blends together.
Yeah. So, thank you for that lovely intro. We have to remember our journey and all the things that we've accomplished in our lifetime. And we tend to forget how great we really are, because these are things that we do naturally. It's like breathing. So when I hear an introduction, and especially coming from you, Nancy, it really impacts me. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, you are most welcome. And in case you didn't notice it, that was the first golden nugget that she dropped on you today, is to really remember how amazing you are. So if you haven't read your own bio lately, go ahead and read it. You'll recognize how amazing you are. And that really leads into one of the first things that we'll talk about today, which is about charging what you're worth. Can you dive into that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a biggie. Excuse me. So So I can teach you business strategies till, a millennium. But if you're not able to really grasp this internally and to, really take it and then put it into action, and you see that you're not doing that, you've got blocks. And the first block is usually charging what you're worth. So it's something that you want to look at in examining your mindset. You want to look at, did you do your market research and then put your price on your website? Did you do your research and then you hemmed and hawed over whether, this is too expensive, and so you stopped yourself? Or you lowered your price, even though you did the market research, because you're kind of new to coaching, or you're new, or in your head you're new. You're not as good as who's out. Who am I to fill in the blank and charge and attract clients? I mean, who'd want to be with little old me? So the thing is, the first step is to acknowledge this, to know that you're doing this. And how do you know that? You look in your bank account. Are you generating revenue? No, that's a big clue. Big clue.
I love how practical and down to earth you get. Like, look in your bank account. If the money's not there and you're spending time serving people, and the time you're spending is not matching the money you're earning, you need to be charging more.
Yes, this is not rocket science, and yet it is when you don't know what you don't know. So it's you with you, and you got your blinders on. Look at your bank account, and don't be afraid to look at your numbers, because that is gold. You will know whether you're on target, whether you're taking care of yourself, or whether you're moving ahead. You're working it, and you're ahead of your game. But you have to know your numbers. You can't avoid that.
Well, and I really want to dive into this piece about knowing your numbers in a moment. I want to back up on charging what you're worth, because there's a few facets that I see people do. Number one is when somebody is starting out in a new career. So let's say you worked in corporate and now you have your own business. People are like, oh, I can't charge. I don't know how much to charge. $50 an hour, $100 an hour. And there's uncertainty about what to charge. So do you have any suggestions or guidelines to figure out how much should I be charging?
Well, okay. First, you have to know, what is your monthly nut to crack? You can say, well, I'm only going to charge $100 an hour, $50 an hour. But if what is your monthly nut to crack for you to provide for your family, pay all of your bills, and have some money left over? You need to know that number, because that's what you need to bring in monthly, at the very least. So maybe you have to have a part-time job in the interim until you build up your business a little bit more. But you have to know where you're starting. Where are you starting from?
Great point.
And then once you have that information, then you can figure out, based on what is out there in the marketplace, where can you jump in?
Very good. Very good. And in doing that research, what are other people in this industry, in this field, charging? Just take a look at that. And one of the key things that I share with people as well is, let's say you have a college degree or a master's degree. How much did you pay for that? Like or how many courses and workshops and seminars have you taken? That's all knowledge that you are bringing to the time you spend with your clientele. So it's not the minutes that you're bringing to your clients. Remember that it's the knowledge, the accumulated wealth of knowledge that you're bringing to the table.
Yes, I find one of the biggest mistakes is to think of yourself at an hourly rate. Well, what can I charge? And I always go to fee-based because it's the value that you're providing to people. It's all the stuff that is so innate and natural to you because you got it. It's your nugget. You've earned this because you've lived it. Either it's something that you studied, you got a degree, you got a certification, or it's an experience that changed your life, like a divorce, or going through bankruptcy, or what other horrible...
overcoming, a physical challenge or a medical issue,
right. Yes,
caregiving,
yes,
so many things.
All of that, or the loss of a loved one, all of that, how do you put a price tag on that? So it's your inner knowing, your knowledge, your expertise, and you charge based
accordingly.
On fee.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing is I hear people say, well, in my area, people don't pay that much. And I go to, there are several restaurants where you can go have dinner and eat steak. So I like steak. So I could go to Char Hut. I could go to Longhorn. I could go to Outback, or I could go to Ruth Chris.
Right.
They're all serving steak.
Yeah.
And let's take it on, my friends. Your worth is you are the Ruth Chris in your industry. Go for it. Create that experience for your clients, and you will absolutely get paid what you're worth.
Yeah. And it's so important to know, what is the purpose of your business? What are your goals? Is it that you just want to make enough money to stay home with your kids or your grandchildren? Or are you paying off your credit cards? Are you really saving money for your kids' college education? Or is this is your, source of income, and this is your retirement? So you want to be clear as to what's the purpose of this business, and you want to get real with yourself about that. And then you want to write down, admit your big dreams to yourself. This is not just a business that you're, working. This is something that is personal to you. This is your baby. This is your means to the end. This is your means to your dreams. Yeah. So you want to really accept that you have big dreams. You want to acknowledge that, and you want to create a vision board, write in your journal. You want to have it in front of you, because we get so caught up in the day-to-day of doing, that we get lost in the doingness, and we forget we forget why we started this in the first place.
Let's dive into this a little bit. I love that you use the phrase, admit your big dreams to yourself. What was that choice of word about?
Well, a lot of times we just are not truthful with ourselves, and it's not that we're lying. It's just we haven't we're not present to it. We have not acknowledged this. And I know I've gone through this myself. So as I'm searching for the words now, because I went through this a long time ago, but it comes up every time when I want to create a new program. There's something I want to add to my business. I get back to, here. So what is this about? What do I want to create? What is it that wants to come forth? This is just not numbers and accounting and money. It's much deeper than that. Our business is a reflection of who we are. It's who we are, and we come through that in the doingness. Who we are comes through in the doingness, and we show up as who we truly are, who we be.
Right. And why we are, who we are, and why we are. Like, why am I here? I'm here to highlight amazing women such as yourself. Like, I'm in the doing, but it's also part of my purpose and my dreams, is to share with with amazing people with the world, such as yourself.
Yeah. I mean, Nancy, you're the one, So.
Yes, yes, yes. As are you. As are you. I love highlighting the ones.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's to admit to ourselves,
Mm.
no fooling, really own it. Own it. I want a house on the beach. I want a house with a new deck looking out at, what do you want to look at? Make a picture of it, take a picture of it someplace and put it in front of you. Look at it every day and smile when you see it. If you're not smiling, then maybe that's the wrong picture. You want to really get to the heart of it. What is motivating you to do what you're doing, so that you're conscious, you're awake, that excuse me, you're conscious and awake, and you want to pay attention to what you're thinking. You want something, you want to have something materialize in your life, and you want to notice your thoughts about that. Oh, I can't have that. I'll never get that. I don't know what to do. My business, fill in the blank. And you have the power to change that conversation. Fill in the blank with things that support you.
I love it. And that brings us dovetailing into releasing those blocks and being able to, first of all, recognize them and then release them. So I think one of the things that gets in the way of admitting what your big dreams are is perhaps you've tried in the past and it didn't work out. Or maybe you have some people around you that's like, oh yeah, that'll never happen. There's another pipe dream of yours. I hear that a lot because I have a lot of dreams and visions and big, hairy, audacious goals, but I just keep going. And, there are times when self-doubt sets in for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that our desires and our dreams and our wishes, they change throughout life. I've lived a good part of my life, and things that I wanted years ago, I no longer want, because I don't need them.
Well, let me say that's actually a good thing, because if I still wanted that little Missy doll from when I was 5 years old, like that's not really what I need and want right now. So we are changing beings. So changing what you want is perfectly fine. Yeah. But don't give up on what you want, right?
No. Oh, absolutely. Give up on what you want. And the bottom line to that is happiness, fulfillment, financial security, knowing that, you got this, you got yourself here. You are in the hands of you, and you got you. You're not going to let you fall down. You are taking care of you and all the other people that are in your circles, your family, your children, your grandchildren. Everyone knows you as they know you, but it's important, more important, I think, for you to know you as others see you. Many times we don't know how our families view us. We have our internal dialogue about ourselves, and it's me as I know me, but it's really, who are you to other people?
So good. So good. Let's circle back. We were going to talk about numbers, and I'm curious the depth of, research, knowledge, and wisdom you bring to this mindset piece and focusing on your desires, releasing blocks. Like that's a big chunk of the work that you do with clients. And yet on this other side, it's practical, it's numbers, it's down into it, right? So talk about the interplay between the two.
Well, first you have to, as I said, you have to give yourself permission to dream, desire, want, and write it down. Be conscious of it, be aware of it, and then translate that into numbers. Money is the rate of exchange. It's the thing that you give. I want a pair of shoes. It costs, I give all this paper money or plastic over to somebody, and I get a pair of shoes, or online now. Everything is online. So it's money. Comes down to getting the things that you want, be it a house, a vacation, a retirement fund, creating a nonprofit, creating another business, buying a car. It's all the things that money enables us to do. And that is a good thing. So you want to know, what is it that you want in terms of money, but you have to know what are the things that you want to see in your life at the end of the year, 2022. Since we're in this year, at the end of the year, what do you want to have? So do you want to have so much money for a deposit on a new house? Do you want to buy a second home? Do you want to fix up your house, your existing home? Are you planning to retire and you need so much money to retire? Whatever it is, you want to buy all your grandchildren new bikes, whatever. But you have to know what is that money goal, excuse me, and what is the thing that you want to use the money for? Because just trying to make more money is really boring. Money,
right? It's
not that it's a bad thing, but there's so much more attachment to it and desire when we say what we're going to do with the money. The money is the tool, but what do we want at the end? So you want to look at your end. What's your end game at the end of this year?
Yeah.
And then work it backwards. Well, how much money do I have to make? And Nancy, we do
that's right.
This is called a business plan, and we do it. We start at the end and work backwards, but you're not going to be able to get there unless you do the mindset piece and get over your money blocks and your barriers that are in the way of you allowing yourself to create what it is you truly desire. Because you could put a number on a piece of paper till you're blue in the face, but you're not going to take the action steps to get there unless you really see it for yourself. You see it that, yes.
And believe that you're worth it. So like it brings us right back to that worthiness piece. Yeah. And you mentioned something when we were talking today about the upper limits. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes. The upper limits. Okay. This is
it's a big one.
This is a big one. Excuse me. Everybody has their upper limit. I don't care who you are. Some people have millions as far as an upper limit. Some people only have 50,000 as an upper limit. You want to notice how much money you've been making consistently. Like, is it 50,000, 150, 250, 500,000, whatever it is. But when you reach that limit or come close to it, if something happens, what happens? Or suddenly you have to spend money, or you are just spending money because you feel, well, I have money now, so I'm going to spend money. But you're not enabling yourself to really go further than that. And it's a pattern because you only see yourself. This is like your internal thermometer. It's preset that you only allow yourself to go so far, and that's it. You will hit that limit, and then something will happen. For me, years ago, it used to be I would have a car accident. Go figure. Wow. I would have a car accident. Yeah.
Did that happen more than once?
Yes, it happened twice.
Wow.
And so this was pretty big. I was fine, soft tissue injury, back problems, all that. But anyway, this is called self-sabotage. It's really, that's what it is. But you don't allow yourself to go further than your self-image of yourself. You see yourself as successful to a certain degree, and that's it. And you won't allow yourself to go further. So this is your subconscious beliefs about yourself, your limiting beliefs. And when you look at the pattern, you can look at it in terms of money, look at it in terms of something that you've been going for.
Could even be related with health. Like I know, yes. I ping pong back and forth with my, I lose 30, I gain it back, lose it, I go through that. And I think that as I'm listening here today, I think that's an upper limit.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's a
Interesting.
Yeah, there's something else going on. For me, this was not about money. The two car accidents. This was I was going to college at night to get a degree in another not accounting, in something else, and it was for interior design, and I was trying to get this damn degree, and I had a car accident, so I couldn't go to college at night and work during the day. And then I tried it again, and same thing happened.
Wow.
So I stuck with accounting. And so the thing was, see, I didn't think I was a good enough designer. Now, this is something that I had to go deep within myself and figure out, well, why don't I do that? But it was really because I didn't think I was a good enough designer when I saw everybody else's, drawings and designs and perspectives and what have you. Now, I'm a very good designer, and I'm a very good artist. I'm very good at that. However, I excel at accounting and numbers and strategies and all of that. So I am where I should be. However, that was a huge learning curve in hindsight, because in the moment it was puzzling and painful. However, you want to look at I'm sharing this with you because I want you to look at your life and see what have been the patterns and trace it back. What were you going for when you slipped and fell, or just something, oh, I got to do this now instead of that. And so, and that was the thing that you wanted for yourself. How many times have you done that? This is where you sell yourself short, write yourself off, just tell yourself, oh, it's okay, I'll get back to that. I'll go back to school. I'll go, whatever it is, I'll get to it. And chances are, we get busy in life and we don't. So it's important to look at that, because that is a limiting belief. That is the ceiling that we put on ourselves. We cap our greatness. I could have been a great interior designer if I believed, not if I wanted to, if I believed I could be. The key word is belief, because your belief creates your reality.
So good. And this topic of upper limits is not brought to the surface enough. And I thank you for bringing the conversation here today and inviting us all to look at, where are those patterns of, you said you wanted something, but then stopped working towards it, or something came up, and there were lots of reasons that we could justify. Like there's a very unconscious, subconscious thing going on here. Susan, thank you for bringing that up. And we are just about at the halfway mark, so we want to give an opportunity for our listeners to ask some questions. And I know that you have a gift to support everyone in moving forward. So if you would let everybody know what that is, this is absolutely free for you. A gift from Susan, another gift from Susan. I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, this is a program called Busting Your Money Blocks. This gets you under your hood into what you desire. It gets to the root of your issue, and it's all about your memory, your language, your story. And even though, you might say, I did this before, whatever. Today is a new day, and it's all right now in the present. What is going on for you? So you want to click the link that Nancy will give you.
And let me also speak it, because we've got several people just on the phone with us. So the link for Susan's gift is, you go to Susan D. Robertis, which is DE, Robertis.com/BYMB, which stands for Busting Your Money Block. So Susan DEROBERTIS.com BYMB. And I've put the link in the chat here on Zoom and also on Facebook. Awesome. I'm gonna get it. Anybody who else? I say I'm in. Go get it. Go grab it. What a fabulous gift to our community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to give the audience an opportunity to ask some questions. So if you are on your phone, you can hit *6. If you are on your computer, just simply unmute yourself and I will get to you. I'm getting everybody prepared to share. Let me start with Auralia first. Good morning, Auralia.
Grand rising, lovely ladies. I just want to thank you so much for the work that you do. I am pretty much in alignment with everything that you said. And I want to share with those of us that are on here that are coaches. One of the most beautiful gifts from coaching is that you get to do your own inner work. Until you have that inner work resolved, you are going to hit that ceiling. Now, as you mentioned, everyone has their own ceiling, but we can increase it. And many times as coaches, we start off with a very low ceiling and we don't see our value. And we're focused on the money. And I am speaking from my experience. I do not know about anyone else's. But the beauty of all of this, which ties in wonderfully with what you said, Susan, so much gratitude for you and mentioning this, that we can choose to allow for everything, and I mean everything, to contribute to us. The good, the bad, the ugly, the lack of money, the places where we feel like we don't deserve and we're not worthy. If we take a look at that and do the inner work that is being offered to us, because it's all a gift, we get to rise above it, and we can only take our clients and bring in clients as far as we've gone. So we can't expect to have a $10,000 client when we don't believe that the work or the gift that we bring to the table is worth $10,000.
Right.
And just because someone doesn't see the value doesn't mean that it's not worth it, or that we're not worth it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, that at this moment, they are not choosing it. And that's the beauty of this life. It's all a choice. And what will you choose?
Beautiful. And Auralia, thank you so much for sharing and taking a look at those patterns is important, because for many reasons, but related to what you just shared, what we choose, is it being driven by a limiting belief or an life enhancing, empowering, advancing belief? So that's why doing that work, like you said, is important for all of us. So thank you, Auralia, for sharing.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day, ladies.
We will. You too. You too.
You know, Nancy, I just want to add that if anyone who's listening, if you have any doubt as to how can I raise my prices? What should I, what do I do? What do I contribute to someone else's life? I want you to go back if you've had clients and hopefully you've gotten testimonials from them. Read your clients' testimonials. Read them, because we forget how great we are and how much we contributed to other people's lives so that they have what they really want and desire.
And keep them handy. So these are note cards of testimonials that I keep on my desk. Right? So where, people are telling you how much they value you. And now you got to value yourself that much, right? Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Right.
All right, good. And let me remind everybody, let's go ahead and let me give you the link to get Susan's free gift. Several of you have already gobbled it up. So go to susandrobertis.com, which is SUSANDEROBERTIS, susandrobertis.com/BYMB. Go ahead and grab it. I'll put the link in the chat again in just a couple minutes. Let me go to Stacy Clark, the Maximizer. Good morning, Stacy.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you speak up just a little bit so we can hear you well?
Let me get off the headphones. Hello?
They're much better. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. The headphones not serving me this morning. I want to say that thank you so much, Susan, for that information and all your sharing. I would like to, I'm glad, after what Aurelia said, I wanted to say, it was so interesting. She talked about how the fact that until you grow to a certain point, you can't do certain things. So it was interesting because what I wanted to share was that I've known Susan for many, many years. We happen to be neighbors, so to speak. We live in the same beautiful county here in New York.
I don't think I even knew that. How awesome.
So we work together.
Stacy, you and I should meet for lunch. Catch up.
Yeah, I know. We haven't been together in a long time in person. But yeah, no, we've known each other for many, many years. We've done work together. As a matter of fact, I helped support Susan on some things she was working on many years ago, actually as a client of mine. So so we've known each other for a long time. And I want to say that I've seen her also grow so much in the many years that we've known each other. And just like myself, she's done some different things as she's shared, and she's just grown quite a bit as well. So I just wanted to share that I've seen her do her own work and grow as we both continue to grow. And I think that what she shared today was right on point, and looking forward to the gift and all seeing her continue to serve those who she's serving. So, I believe in, and I talk a lot about being seasoned and marinated, and I've watched both of us season and marinate over the years, and you're doing it very well. I just wanted to say that. So
thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you, Stacy. So glad you popped in to pour some love. And also, we are seasoned and marinated, and I keep marinated because and I think your tagline is seasoned and marinated, but not done yet, right?
That's exactly right. That's what we are.
Right.
We're seasoned and marinated women, but we're not done yet.
Yeah,
so
let's keep on
going.
Keep on going, busting through those upper limits, and giving ourselves permission to have what we really want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you again, ladies. Glad I was able to join you briefly today.
Me too. Thank you. All right, let's next go to Laura Barker. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh my goodness, Susan. Just nugget after nugget after nugget today. And I've already gotten the gift. Guys, if you don't have this yet, click it now. This is a serious gift. This is not just like a little checklist of 10 things or something like that. This is work. This is something that if you will actually undertake, will give you results. I have absolutely no doubt about that. I build on what Stacy just said about it's a work we're always a work in progress. Our mindset needs constant attention. I actually, Susan, have a little alarm on my phone that goes off periodically throughout the day just to check in with my thoughts, right? Because how easy is it for us to get knocked off of our place of love and coming from love and understanding our own value? How easy is it for us to begin to have some self-doubt? Just even the slightest little thing can result in all kinds of self-doubt. So we have to keep working on it, and we have to be diligent. And Susan, the gift that you've provided, it is powerful.
Wow.
I am so blown away by it, and I cannot wait to dive into it. Just
Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. And you made me want to jump off and go get it. But I'm going to stay here with you and do it right after. So be sure to go to susandrobertis.com/BYMB. Thank you, Laura. And let me go ahead and a caller from 305-546. Good morning. Your line is open.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
I hear you beautifully. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this talk. This came out at a really good time for me, and I appreciate all you do, Nancy, with Wow Wednesdays. I learned a lot when I connect. I wanted to know Are there steps for the upper limits that we can take to identify them?
Okay. Good question. Excuse me. The first thing is first I want you to write all this down. First thing you want to notice is what have you been pursuing, desiring for quite some time that has not come to fruition for you? What is that? Is it a new job? Is it a new your business to have 10 clients, 20 clients, a certain amount of income, whatever it is, or, I'm never going to pay this car off unless, something happens here. Why isn't it happening? So you want to be aware of what is going on in your life and what is the repeated pattern.
Mm-hmm.
What is the repeated pattern? What keeps showing up? And if you don't know it right off the bat, that's fine. It's to really get quiet within yourself and ask.
Okay.
And if you get quiet, you will get the answer because you're seeking, but you want to be open to it. So the first thing to do is to ask and then acknowledge, admit to yourself, and then to allow yourself to be grateful for who you are and what you have created thus far in your life. So you want to acknowledge all of the things in your life that you have created thus far and write them down, like in 2021. All the things that you created, and you can, we're not that far into 2022 yet, but at the end of every year, I write 3 lists. I write down, what did I accomplish financially? What did I accomplish personally? What did I accomplish in my business? So now in business and financial may have some, roll
Yeah,
over.
but maybe you wrote a book or you created a new course or you invented a new product. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but you really want to remember who you are and be present to that. And then, just watch what happens. And
really good.
Keep going for the thing that you want.
That was
beautiful.
See what opens.
Great question. Thank you so much for asking the question, which brought us this beautiful recipe. Really, really good. And I would imagine for all of you listening in, whether you're here on Zoom or on Facebook, watching the replay, get the gift, because this is how Susan shows up for you. Let's have you show up for yourself. So go grab the gift at susandrobertis.com/BYMB. Let's go to our next caller, Lisa Perez. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Susan, thank you so much for sharing your insight. And just, we always have to be focused on our mindset, because I think sometimes, particularly as women, there's so much negativity out there that tells us we can't or we're not good enough. So thank you so much for bringing that conversation. What I wanted to share specifically was about, consultant pricing. I remember struggling with that about 11 years ago, just before I launched my firm. And one of the suggestions that I'd come across at that time, and some of you might be familiar with it, is, to look at the hourly rate you were or are being paid as a full-time employee for someone else doing that same work. And when you look at that hourly rate that you're currently being paid, determine what are the other costs. And the recommendation was to multiply that by 2 or even 3. To compensate for that overhead costs, right? The office setup, the technologies we have to pay for. In my case, it's insurance and things of that nature, right? And so when you do that, that's just a starting point. I remember doing that, and I, put my hourly rate together, and that was going to be my billable rate. And then be confident in the fact that you're worth that. And that the cost of doing business with you is that number. And be confident when you say that hourly rate, if that's, how you sell your services. And then don't forget to give yourself a raise. And I learned that confidence from WPN. I remember giving myself my first raise about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4, when I, encountered WPN, and I said, I don't think I've given myself a raise.
I know, you deserve a raise. Yeah.
And so don't forget to give yourself a raise. You would get one, if you were an employee, likely, right, this day and age, but don't forget to give yourself a raise. So I wanted to thank you, and thank you for the conversation, and thank you for letting me share that insight. Hopefully that helped a little nugget.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, Lisa. Thank you. And the number is 3.
Yes.
Because it's first of all, you have to know your overhead. You have to know. I'm sorry, ladies, but it always goes back to the numbers. Yep. So you have to know your overhead.
Make friends with your numbers.
Yeah. It's really empowering once you it's mine. Don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. It's like gardening. Get in the dirt. So the number is 3 because there's one for you, and then there's your overhead and expenses, and then there's something called profit. You're not in business for a break even. It's called profit. So it's the multiplier is 3, 2.5 at the very least.
So good. So good. Thank you, Lisa and Susan. Here we go. Awesome. All right, let's check in. If you have a question or comment that you want to share with us today, you can hit *6 on your phone or unmute if you're on your computer. We've got a couple of minutes left, and I do want to encourage everyone to go to SusanDRobertis.com/BYMB. BYMB.
Right.
Let's open up one more caller. Olivia, good morning. Oh, she was there a moment. There you go.
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to say that I can so relate to this because I I have been having a desire to be a Mary Kay sales director for like 20 plus years. And there have been so many things that have blocked me. And so I know that a dream denied is not a dream deferred, and to be able to just keep going is just something that I can continuously work on. And when I get ready to do the actual process, I'll be able to actually see it, and it's going to be amazing because I know that it's possible. I know and believe that it's possible. And one thing that I have really been concentrating on is, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you're right. And I believe I can. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I have the gift of gab. I love people.
And I love that you're bringing this up, Olivia, because one of the things that can tie into this is believing you can, then seeing yourself as doing it, as having it, as being it, and tapping into that power of visualization or imagining. And I've been watching the Olympics lately. So I was watching women snowboarding the other day, and as she was getting ready, she stood at the top of the mountain, and her eyes were closed, and she's going like this. And she was visualizing her body completing the run.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
So have you visualized yourself as what does it look like? What does your day look like? What do your conversations feel like? Where are you traveling? What are you driving with you as that at that promoted level? Have you visualized all of that?
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that. Yeah. That's the block, because I don't think I actually see it.
Wow.
And I know faith is you see it before you see it.
Absolutely. You got to see yourself in the driver's seat of that car. And I know that I had a Mary Kay client who became the regional manager. And so if you desire whatever it is, fill in the blank, it is possible.
Yeah.
It is
so good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Beautiful. I see you, girl. Go, Olivia.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. Let's open up one more caller before we wrap up today. 919 area code 987. Good morning. Your line is open.
Good morning. Oh my goodness, Nancy, it's Tiffany. And I
Hi.
just wanted to say hello, Susan. I thank you so much for just being a reminder of so many things that I've been going through. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Through personal work, I had to get over this because not only was that whole self-sabotaging thing affecting my business, it also was affecting my, my life as far as my marriage. And I've been divorced and I'm married again now, and I believe that it happened through me doing some of the things that you named. And it was like I went through this whole phase where I had to like find somebody that was already doing what I wanted to have done. And so I started studying the book of Ruth, and then I found a mentor of ladies who had successful marriages that, so I thought, and then I began to like really evaluate my life. And that part that you said about looking at it and being able to see where it was happening, I was in 3 car wrecks within 9 months. And when you just said that, it just struck me because I remember writing my list down of how my patterns were. And every time I was getting a promotion, moving up in the business world, something would happen. And so I was committed when I got my divorce to sit down, evaluate life, no matter how bad it hurt, and then began to seek it, like you said, and then truly believing what I was seeking could happen, and envisioning it, like you said, by like those Olympians do, and a lot of athletes do. But then the thing was, once you get the vision, writing it down and making it plain, like it says in Habakkuk 2:2. But Habakkuk 1:1 is the real thing, envisioning it first, like you said, but then writing it down and doing vision boards. But I made a list of 156 things 57 things before I met my husband, and I spoke that thing daily, prayed for it, and said it was going to happen. And when he showed up in my life, I can honestly say I got all of it and more. And so there's something about the speaking it out, but also even when you think you're there, keep on speaking, because that mental self-sabotage in your head, that self-chatter can be even louder. So when I would like go on a date, when I would say bye and he closed the door, I would say, all right, see you later. And when he would close the door, I would be like, all right, there's my husband. And I pray for him, and I like say who he was like out loud, because I would begin to believe like this can't be real. So even in our business, I find when those things happen, or I leave a great meeting, I have to like leave the meeting and remind myself that I deserve this. And I said I was going to make it happen, and it is happening. So just speaking louder than the inside self chatter, I think is so great as well. So Susan, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a reminder of how this really works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
beautiful,
wonderful.
Tiffany.
That's really great awareness, and you put it into practice and you have what you desire. So kudos to you. You did the work and you really got what you wanted, so
my question to you though is when you feel like you've met a lot of them, will your system have us look at, okay, now what's next? Because I heard you saying something about once you get to that one level, like with the income and the next one, some people say it's not good to keep going, or you just, I don't know, you're not satisfied, or you're never content. But for me, I'm like, there's always a next level. So what do you feel about that?
Well, there is the next level. Human beings are funny. We are natural creators. And so we're always creating something in our lives, whether we're aware of it or not. We could be dissembling something, or we could, be, creating, upward this way. But the point is that once you reach, like, all right, I started out as an accounting clerk. I got my degree, and I got titles as I went, and I ended up in the C-suite as a CFO. At no point did I ever say, oh, I'm done, because I wanted I'm going there because I can, because I want to. This is all about life is your creation. It's where do you want to go now that you're at such and such a level in your career, whatever that is, whether you have you are the CEO of your business, whether you're aware of it or not. You want to own that. Everybody here is the CEO of their business. And so as the CEO, what do you want to create? What do you want to have? And then have that overflow into your life and the people that you love. So do you really want to put a cap on that? Really, we as human beings are always, creating. So that's our nature.
Yeah. And I think that there's a balance between being appreciative and grateful for all you do have and going for more. So it's like, I'm still going for more. It's not because I'm dissatisfied with what I've done. It's because there's more expression in me that wants to come out. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That is perfect, Nancy.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go ahead. This was a yummy, delicious, expansive conversation with Susan D. Robertis. Be sure you go grab her gift, SusanDRobertis.com/BYMB. Go ahead and grab that gift. Let's all expand and bust through those upper limits so that we can have all of the success and happiness and wealth and joy. Like, that's a joyful, yummy life.
Yeah, really. Because you can have joy is possible every minute because you say so. Because right now in this moment, all you have to do is smile. You can't be unhappy if you're smiling.
I'm smiling and I'm grateful. Thank you, Susan.
Yes.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all for joining us for this week's Wow Wednesday. You know, we'll be back next week with another wow guest to support you in living your best life. This is your place for ongoing motivation, education, and inspiration so that those visions come to life. Thank you again for joining us. Bye, everybody. Bye, Susan.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Pleasure to be with you. Thank you.